Hey everybody, it's Mrs. C, and I'm coming to you with two worked out samples of finding the perimeter of a given figure using your skills of translating. Now it's going to be a quick one. I promise I am not squirreling today. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get her done. Get her done, everybody. Let's do it. All right. So my first problem reads the perimeter of a rectangle, and I actually will stop right there and draw my standard rectangle. Now the perimeter is 34 feet. I like to put that 34 right in the middle. I know it means perimeter. You can write is equal to the perimeter equals P if you like. Find the width of the rectangle if the length is 5 feet more than twice the width. So we're supposed to find the length given a certain information that they give us in the word problem. So let's do this first. Let's write L. That's supposed to be an L. L. I'm going to do a little color coding. I'm not getting fancy, but I want you to see those as the same values there. So what it says is, if we look, and I'm going to change my color back to red because that's the information they're giving me. It says that the length is 5 feet more than twice the width. So you know is equal when we translate. Let me go down to the bottom side. It says the length is 5 more than something. So in order to add 5 to something, that something needs to be there. And that's why that 5 goes in the back. I know it bugs you in the past where they say if you hear more than or less than, the 5 goes in the back. But did you ever stop to understand why? You don't write 5 plus, say, if it was 5 more than L, 5 plus L, because it says it's 5 more than L, which means it's 5 more than something that was already there. If you gain 5 more pounds than you were before, 5 more than that weight would have been 5 on top of what you already had. If you lost 5 more pounds on a diet, you'd be the weight you were, and then you'd minus the 5. It makes perfect sense if you stop and think about it. Now this word problem says I am 5 more than twice the width. So that tells me what that mystery number is that I'm 5 more than. I'm 5 more than twice W. And that's all I really need to do. That, guys, is the hard part to this. I don't need the L because I'm actually trying to get rid of the L. If you think about it, I'm trying to get everybody in terms of W. So if we look back and we were to color code this properly, I wouldn't use, I'm sorry, I paused for a minute because I was trying to think of my color. Color is important, you know that. We would say 2W plus 5, right? Because now I'm in blue. I'm in terms of blue. I'm in terms of W. I'm talking about everything in terms of W. So here's what I know about the perimeter in terms of using a letter for W, in terms of referring to the width. I know that my length is 2 W's plus 5, and I know that my width is just the plain W. I know perimeter is the result you get when you add up all the sides. Now, I never write 2W plus 5 plus W plus 2W plus 5 plus W. This is too much writing. I go around the rectangle to every side, and I combine like terms as I go. So here's 2 W's, here's 1 W, here's 2 W's, and here's 1 W. Do you know what the most common mistake is when doing this? It's to tell me, how many W's do you have? Oh, I have 4 W's. No, you don't. Go back and look. There are, yes, the letter W is showing 4 times, but those numbers in the front tell you how many W's that it's worth. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. That's 6. That would be a big messeroo, wouldn't it? If you put a 4 instead of a 6, you know you'd get the problem wrong. Now go, conversely, and add up all your constants, your numbers by themselves. Well, you have a 5 and nothing, and 5 and nothing. So what's 5 and nothing and 5 and nothing? It's 10. And that whole thing, that whole nonsense that we just did, was just adding up all the components that were on the sides. And because we have letters, we can only combine exactly like terms. So it's the same stuff we had learned before. And it's set equal to 34 because 34 is the perimeter, and the perimeter is what you get when you add up all the sides. Doesn't that make sense? It's not just me, right? That makes sense. Okay. Now we have a little baby two-stepper, so don't screw it up at this point, because this is sometimes when you let your guard down. And I know on the last video I made that I had to delete, this is where I put, blah, 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 blah. This is where I set my guard down and I screwed up. I'll show you where I screwed up. I just didn't want it on the video. You know I'll always tell you where I screw up. I almost did it again. I wrote a 3 here. I don't know why I wrote a 3, but I wrote a 3 instead of a 6W on my last video, and that came out to the wrong answer. So I want a right answer. Divide by 6. Divide by 6. We've got W equal to, what is it? 24 divided by 6 is 4. All right, and I did a lot of talking, so I'm doing a little quick checky. I see it. I'm good. Okay, so my width is 4. We go back up and we evaluate. Let me use just a different color. If my width is 4, then what would be, not 24, right? 2 times 4. What would be my length? 2 times 4 is 8. See how I get that 8 first? Because I'm going to add 5 more to it. So I need it first. My 2 times 4 is 8. 5 more than 8 is what? It's 13. Now, I don't need to know that except to do a nice check step. If the length is 13, then that's 13. If the width is 4, then that's 4. And a nice little check step, if you don't have an answer key, would be to say 13 plus 13 plus 4 plus 4, because that should give you your perimeter. So let's see, 13 and 13 is 26, and then 26 plus 8, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Yay! Okay. Now, what did the question ask? I'm looking for it. Find the width. Had that width all along, but I couldn't do my check step without finding the length. So my answer, I believe, is 4. For what, though? 4 feet. Now, let's see if I'm right. There's my answer choices. And there's my answer. Ba-bum. Oh, so good. All right, people. Let's try the next problem. Bye-bye, problem. We're done with you. The perimeter of a triangle. Watch me multi-stepping. The perimeter of a triangle is 30. A triangle. Did I just say triangle? Oh, no, I didn't. The perimeter of a triangle. I make all my triangles look the same. I wonder if I have a triangle drawing thing. Can I draw a triangle? No, I cannot draw a triangle with my cute little drawing tool. So we'll have to deal with this triangle. The perimeter of a triangle is 36. So I'm going to write 36. You don't mind if I don't put P, right? Inches. The short side is 4 inches less than the medium side. Well, I drew all my sides to look the same, so I'm going to have to label these probably with a letter, because you know I am not going to spend time trying to make one look longer than the other. So who am I talking about? I got a short, a medium, and a long. So let's call it that. A short, that's cursive, people, in case you don't recognize. I don't do print S's because they look like 5s. So short, medium, and large. Okay, small, medium, and large. And I'm using S, M, and L because those are the words they use in the word problem. So it tells me the short side is 4 inches less than the medium. Okay, so my short, I'm going to write it equals to the left because I'm out of space on the right. It says that the short side is 4 less than medium. Remember how to do it? 4 less than something. And what's it less than? It's 4 less than the medium. And that's where you do that. Now, once you've written that, we go to the next one. Let's see if it talks about anything else. It says the long side, that would be this one, the long side is 7 inches longer than the medium length. So the long, which I actually underlined longer instead of long, but it worked out well for me. Longer is another way of saying more than, right? Longer than, more than, fatter than, skinnier than. It's all the same comparison. So that again, to be longer than something, I need that something first. So here's that blank again. To be longer is to be plus or minus though. Yes, that's right. To be, you have to add to it to be longer. So it's 7 longer. Now, I read it again. You hear me repeating over and over again what I'm trying to write. The long side, that's what that means, is 7 inches longer. That's what that is. Then the medium length again. Okay, medium is what I'm longer than. Now I want you to scan around your triangle and find a way to refer to each side in terms of the same letter. I want either S's all around, L's all around, or M's all around. Now you probably see it already. I'm going to circle it in case you don't. Here's an M minus 4. Here's an M. Here's an M plus 7. So when I'm trying to do the math, I'm going to refer to S, which is the smallest side. Instead of using an S, I'm going to refer to it as the medium minus 4, because then I can combine like terms. So look only into the green circles and tell me, how many M's do I have when I add up all around? Well, I have 1M, 1M, and 1M. In this case, I do have 3 M's, right? And then go around and combine your constants. I'm going to use a different color for effect right now. I have a negative 4. I have nothing, right? And I have a positive 7. When you combine negative 4, nothing, and positive 7, your result will be different sign. Find the difference sign of the larger number, positive 3. What do you get when you add those up? You get the perimeter, because we added up everything on all 3 sides, and the perimeter is 36. Now, again, once you get through that, that's just a baby 2-stepper. So we minus 3 from both sides. It's going to get a little cramped for me, so I'm going to have to go off to the side over here. My apologies. 3m is equal to 33. It's looking good for me because it's a whole number. It's an integer value. M is equal to 33 over 3. That can be simplified to 11. So if M is equal to 11, it would be an M there, an 11 there, and an 11 there. And if I evaluated 11 minus 4, what is that? It's 7. 11 plus nothing is 11. And 11 plus 7 is 18. If all went well, my check step would be to add those up and get the proper value of 36. And that's what you get. 7 plus 11 is 18. 18 plus 18 is 36. That checks out. I'm feeling good. But I want to look at the answer key. Here we go. Please be there. Oh my gosh, no. 36 isn't there. Did I forget what I was solving for? I did. I never answered the question. Oh my gosh. Find the length of the medium side. What did I solve for? I got 11, right? Right? Medium down here. Woo, woo. Medium was equal to 11. M was equal to 11, and I never brought it home. I dropped the ball on the 1-yard line. It was 11, and then my label, of course. What was I in terms of, as far as my measure? Inches. Oh my gosh. Well, the good news is I had it. The bad news is when I came to answer select my answer, I didn't even know what I'd answered. I knew I had the right answer, but I didn't know what the question was. Ah! Okay. Babies, this has been a quick, I don't even know how many tutorial, 15 minutes. All right, almost 15 minutes. That's not too shabby. Let me erase this all for you because I want to tell you something right now. If you were to actually step away from this for maybe one problem, 5 minutes, and then come back to it, you are not going to hardly remember anything that I did. And it is a great practice because I already walked you through it so you have an idea. But you haven't done it by yourself. So this is what I would say. If you're a little on the fence, if you're a little shaky on this, step aside for 5 minutes, maybe practice some evaluating, practice some literals, and then come right back to these exact 2 problems that's right on your screen. Answer choices are there. If you want to cover them, we can cover them. Watch. either rewind or play back. It's up to you how you want to play it. But go ahead. There it is without peeking. I'll even get rid of this for my people that like